Hey guys, this is Sergio. Today I'm going to talk about the Lost Boys trilogy. All three films. You got the Lost Boys, the first one, which is a classic. Lost Boys 2, The Tribe, and the most recent one, Lost Boys Part 3, The Thirst. The first one, of course, came out in the late 80s. I remember watching this at the movie theater when I was a kid, and it was pretty good back then. It is actually considered a classic now. I was reading in a magazine where they said it's one of the best vampire movies of all time. Um, it's starring Kiefer Sutherland and two Coreys who were very popular in the 80s. They made a lot of movies together, Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. And it's about these two brothers that they moved to California with their mom. They're kind of they don't really know anybody, so they're new. They just go out on the town. They're seeing what's out there. Um, Corey Haim's character by the name of Sam, he ends up running into these two brothers. They're the Frog Brothers, who he runs into them at a comic book store, and they try to tell him that there's these vampires and vampires are real, and they give him these comic books to read about vampires, and that it would show him, teach him a little more about what is really in their town. This guy right here, he plays the older brother. His name is Michael, and the vampires actually take a liking to him, and they actually want him to join them. So they end up giving him some blood, which he thinks is just wine, and he ends up becoming one of them. The Frog Brothers and Sam, the brother played by Corey Haim, end up becoming obsessed with it. They start believing that vampires are real, and they start becoming obsessed that they're going to track these vampires down and get rid of them. Um, at the end, of course, they all these guys, the teenage guys, they all end up getting killed, but there's still one head vampire that they got rid of, that they needed to get rid of, who just happens to be dating the mother. Yes, I know, giving away spoilers, but this movie is over 20 years old, so um, very good movie. I like it. Like I said, it's considered a classic. Still, in my opinion, very good movie. One of my favorites of all time. Um, so it's just one of those movies that you don't really want to see a sequel to it, but when the sequel does come out, then you can't resist but watch it. Which is where exactly this is the third. Sorry, this one right here, Lost Boys: The Tribe. When I first saw that they had come out with the sequel, this came out in 2008, over 20 years after the first one came out. When I saw that they came out with a sequel, wasn't too eager about it. I did not think that they would be able to make a good sequel to it, but I had to watch it, wanted to watch it, and so I did. And it was exactly what I thought it would be. It wasn't that great at all. It actually, in my opinion, was kind of like a cheap imitation of the first one. It was just like almost like a remake, just with different people. This one's about a brother and a sister that move to California, and they end up meeting these vampires. The head vampire is actually played by Kiefer Sutherland's brother, who I have never heard of. His name is Angus Sutherland. I've never heard of that guy, but I guess it's Kiefer Sutherland's real brother. He ends up playing the head vampire, and I don't know. It wasn't that great of a movie. Like I said, it was a lot like they tried to remake the first one, just nothing exciting. This time, instead of the bikers, the rebels, they had the surfers. This time, the surfers were the vampires, and this brother, they want him to join the vampires, and eventually, the sister ends up falling for this guy, the head vampire, and he's trying to get them away. Pretty much same thing as when Sam was trying to get Michael away from the vampires in the first one. So don't really recommend this one. Corey Feldman comes back as one of the Frog Brothers. He's the only one that comes back at the end when the credits start coming up. Just wait for a little bit. They'll start showing the credits, and then somebody else makes a special appearance, and then they finish his credits after that. That was pretty much the best part, was after the credits. So Not the greatest movie, but it was hard to make a sequel to such a good movie when it comes to this one. Uh, and recently, the third one that they just released, this one came out in the 2010. That was 2 years ago. The Lost Boys and Thirst. And in this one, Corey Feldman comes back again as one of the Frog Brothers, but the other Frog Brother also comes back. So you got both Frog Brothers that come back, and this one was a little better. I actually like this one. It's about this lady that she's trying to get a hold of the Frog Brothers, and she's kind of like an author, and they show her books, and they're kind of like they try to make her out as the author of the Twilight series, which I didn't really care for that they did that. But like she was writing those type of novels, and she's looking for the Frog Brothers' help because her brother has gone missing. He's hanging out with the wrong people who she thinks are vampires, and they end up there's the vampires are gonna have some rave. There's this drug that they're gonna give. In the drug, it's actually blood. So everybody who goes to the rave is going to become a vampire, and they're gonna have like this big old army of vampires out there. And so she tries to get the Frog Brothers to go in there and try to stop the rave, so that this big army isn't created. Uh, it ends up becoming that her brother is actually already a vampire. He's actually the head vampire from way back when, and the guy that's throwing the rave is actually trying to take over for him, trying to take away his powers. So it was all right. I like this one better than the second one. I didn't really care for the second one at all. I'm gonna hold on to it just so that I have the complete set, but I probably won't even watch the second one again. I didn't really care for it at all. But this one was it was pretty interesting. The ending is also very interesting. There's a little surprise at the end that I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, that's the Lost Boys trilogy. Lost Boys a classic. It wasn't really necessary that they should have made sequels to it, because I mean it would have been still a classic without the sequels. But still, they were still good movies to watch, except for the second one. The third one's all right. So that's pretty much it. Uh, Lost Boys 1, Lost Boys 2, Lost Boys 3. This is just a quick update, quick review of what I thought of these movies. I got some more coming. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more. Bye.